why you need a messy, rapid mailer. There is so much more to internet marketing than most successful marketers are willing to divulge. It is the most important aspect of building a business aside from having a kick-ass offer, yet so few actually know how to do it properly. Over the years, the state of internet marketing has changed greatly. The websites are not the same, many of the practices are not the same, and the consumers are not the same. With approximately 1 billion websites live today, you must offer a little of something different than your competitors in order to stand out. This little of something different is the ability to build a connection. Internet marketing is all about building connections, connections with other business owners, and most of all, connections with your consumer base. Driving revenue is a byproduct of these connections by skillfully gaining the trust of the consumer and offering a solution to their problem. Even if you offer the best product around, long-term success may prove to be extremely elusive as customers will eventually flock to whomever they most feel connected to. Building these connections isn't easy, but there are specific steps you can take to help begin building connections from day one. The first step I'd like to talk about is branding. The importance of branding. Internet marketing is no longer about putting up a site with a few articles and flooding it with spammy backlinks. This may have worked 10 years ago, but search engines are savvier as are the consumers that use them. In 2014 and beyond, internet marketing will revolve around building a brand and spreading awareness. Branded websites are not only easier to market, but are also much more likely to acquire return visitors as well, because they help build that connection between the company and the consumer. A brand doesn't have to revolve solely around a company name either. You can be your own brand. Oprah is one of the world's most widely recognized personalities. She is her own brand. Those pesky Kardashians have made a fortune by turning their entire family into a brand. People relate more to a brand that is represented by a person instead of a faceless entity, as they can better identify with them. The customer gains a certain sense of comfort by knowing more about the people behind the company logo. Right about now, you may be thinking to yourself, there are plenty of brands that don't have a face behind them. You would be right, but there aren't as many as you would believe. Most multi-million-dollar corporations don't have a significant person behind them that most would identify with. Instead, they use famous personalities in commercials and ad spots to help fill this void. Think about it for a second. Hanes has Michael Jordan. Revlon has Emma Stone. GoDaddy has Danica Patrick. Progressive Insurance has Flo. Without branding, you may become just another website in a sea of websites destined to float away into utter obscurity. Be a superhero in the eyes of your audience. This is where you create your brand identity that sets you apart from all of the other competitors within your niche. Think about some of the individuals that influence you from around the web. Many of them are almost mythical in nature, similar to a superhero, at least that's how their audience perceives them. This can be found in every niche imaginable. These individuals have created their own online persona that people gravitate to. Oftentimes their reputation precedes them. Here's how you create your own superhero identity. Answer these 3 questions. Imagine that you are in a room full of your model prospects, the most highly targeted prospects possible, about to give a presentation about your products and services. How would you want to be introduced? If you could snap your fingers and become the ideal spokesperson for your product or service, what would you look or act like? How would your model prospects describe what makes you different? This is your superpower. When you can answer all of these questions, then you should have a clear-cut answer as to what your superhero persona should be. Connecting through transparency. When it comes to your audience, absolute honesty is always the best option. Some choose to go above and beyond simply being honest, and it often pays off. A fellow marketer by the name of Pat Flynn comes to mind. When it comes to his business, he is an open book. Pat even goes as far as to post monthly revenue reports of his earnings detailing where every dollar came from and what he spent to get it. Most people aren't even comfortable sharing this type of information with their close friends, let alone hundreds of thousands of strangers. There are countless marketers out there that likely make a great deal more than Pat, but he has attracted a solid following simply because his openness resonates with his readers. You can do this through email marketing, but you actually have the ability to expedite the process by branding yourself in the messages you send and by opening up about your brand. Here are examples of what you may choose to add to your messages. How did your business come to be in the first place? What motivates you and your team to continue on every day? Why did you decide on your particular product? What kinds of consumers find the most value in your product and why? What defines your company or brand? Provide insight into your life by sharing personal details. It's important to remember that the entire purpose of answering these questions is to be as transparent as possible. That means no sales pitches. They are not meant to be used as ads to promote your business either. The answers are meant to help your audience better understand your motives and potentially earn their trust as well. They may also begin to think of you as a real person, just like them, instead of just a web page that is sitting on their laptop. Have an opinion. This may seem like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised at how many marketers provide cookie-cutter content in an attempt to avoid stepping on any toes. By not expressing an opinion of their own, they do nothing to stand out in the crowd. Here's a quick example of a marketer that formulates his own ideas. Over the last several years, few marketers within the health and fitness niche have amassed the following that Mark Sisson has. His opinions on nutrition have made him wildly popular, though his ideas deviate from the norm. There are many on the other side of the spectrum that vilify him because they disagree with his teachings. Although there are those that oppose his views, he has accumulated a great deal of wealth and a fan base that will cling on to his every word because he is not afraid to voice his opinion and be different. No matter what you say, as long as it isn't generic drivel, there will always be someone there to disagree. However, those aren't the people you are marketing to, so it shouldn't even matter in the first place. Final thoughts. If you take anything away from this video at all, then I hope it is that focusing on click-through rates and backlinks are only a small portion of what makes up an internet marketer. A true marketer builds a connection with their audience through branding, creating a persona that is bigger than life, being upfront about their intentions, and not being afraid to have an opinion that deviates from the norm. Rapid Mailer will help you grow your business. With Rapid Mailer, you can brand your autoresponder messages to reflect who you are and what you believe in. You'll be able to send unlimited sequential messages to your mailing list and grow your business in the process. Rapid Mailer Autoresponder has no monthly fees. Rapid Mailer is a WordPress plugin that enables you to have unlimited email lists with unlimited sequential messages. Also, you can send broadcast messages to your list anytime you want to make special announcements or draw attention to special offers. Rapid Mailer puts you in total control. With Rapid Mailer, you will no longer be at the mercy and whims of the commercial autoresponder companies like Aweber and GetResponse. No more monthly fees for you. You'll own Rapid Mailer and have total control of your own autoresponder. You'll send plain text or fancy HTML messages to your list, and you can customize the look of your messages using the built-in templates or use the built-in template editor to create your own templates to brand your business. With Rapid Mailer, you're the boss. Rapid Mailer gives you full, total control of your email marketing. Build as many email lists as you want. Send as many email messages as you want. No more monthly fees. Send your messages through your web host or a third-party service like Amazon SES and SMTP email, or even a free service like Gmail. You can't go wrong with Rapid Mailer. Right now, I'm offering the best bonus when you acquire Rapid Mailer. Look, there are lots of marketers promoting Rapid Mailer, and that's because it's so good. In fact, I'm going to change all of my email lists over to Rapid Mailer. Yes, it's that good. I know that without a doubt, Rapid Mailer will be good for you and your business, that I'm offering the absolute best bonus you'll find. Say, I know what the others guys are offering. It's my business to know what's going on. I've looked at what they're offering, and all I've got to say is that my bonus blows all other bonuses away. And I'm not just saying that. Go look at the other bonuses and compare them to mine. You'll see a huge difference. Take a look at internetprofittools.com/Rapid Mailer.